Hi guys, we're back with another Classroom of the Elite videos. Yeah, I've seen some people make like requests for this topic, and I'm honestly glad to see that you guys are enjoying these videos because I honestly enjoy making them a lot too. Yeah, for anyone that doesn't know, I checked out an anime Classroom of the Elite in August of 2021, I'm pretty sure, and I was actually quite interested in it, which led to me reading the manga, which also led to me reading the light novel, and we're here now. Okay, I'm not even exaggerating when I'm saying this, but ever since I got into this series, I've seen so many fucking videos and articles like, oh, second season of Classroom of the Elite coming out soon, oh, update on the sequel Classroom of the Elite, everything like that. Legit, when you type in Classroom of the Elite on Google, the top search thing about it is season 2. So in today's video, I'm going to be comparing some of the things that happened in the anime to what actually happened in the light novel, and I'm going to be bringing up some reasonings on why I personally think Youjitsu shouldn't get a second season, why it doesn't need a second season, and why honestly it just needs a fucking remake. First thing I'm going to bring up is the ending of the first season. In the final scene of the final episode, Anakoji basically revealed his true self. He was basically like, oh, I'm gonna take over this whole school, I'm gonna like turn everyone to tools, everything like that, while Horikita was confessing to him. Now, when I initially saw this scene, I didn't really see anything wrong with it. I honestly thought it was a pretty good scene because throughout the whole anime, Anakoji was like, you know, this very mysterious guy that was kind of overpowered in some ways, but we didn't really know his true goals or anything like that. And he ended up telling us more about himself in the final scene of the final episode, and I was like, okay, this was pretty good. Yeah, this is interesting. I still don't think it was a bad scene or a bad way to end the anime, but I do think they portrayed it in a way where they were like, yeah, we really don't need a sequel. It would make sense if they did give it a second season, but at the same time, I feel like it's similar to something like Bunny Girl Senpai. Like, they can definitely continue the story, but at the same time, it's sitting at a comfortable spot where they were like, yeah, we've shown you guys enough to the point where we can, like, you know, just not do anything else anymore. The funny thing about that scene is Horikita's confession to Anakoji. Like, Horikita was basically like, yeah, I admit that you're cool as fuck, you know, you just helped us out in that exam and everything, so, you know, I kinda have a crush on you. You know, it was a pretty sweet and cute scene, but coming from someone who read the light novel and the manga, I can inform you guys that that scene never happened in the light novel, and it probably will never. And this brings us to my next point. The anime just ended up changing way too many things. Like, I kind of get it. Horikita is the main girl in the anime, and you know, in most animes, the main girl will most likely fall in love with the guys, or vice versa, the guy will fall in love with the main girl, or something like that. But in the light novel, Horikita hasn't shown anyone any interest romance-wise, so I feel like some people might not see this as a big change, but imagine how, like, classy would go on if Horikita had a crush on Anakoji this whole time. It would change the story drastically, and if it actually went out in that way, I personally wouldn't be able to see Horikita becoming the future leader of Class C. Yeah, the anime did like a lot of little things that wouldn't affect the story too much, but like, it definitely would affect the storyline. Another scene I'm thinking about right now is, what's that bald guy's name from Class A? Oh, Katsuragi. Yeah, there was a scene in the manga where Katsuragi came across Anakoji and Sakura in the cornfield, I'm pretty sure, in the manga during the first island survival exam. I don't fully remember what happened in that scene, but Katsuragi and Anakoji were being extremely friendly towards each other. They were basically both like, yeah, we don't want altercation to happen. We don't want to fight each other. Let's just get some of our corn and go back to our group. Like, on the outside, that doesn't really look like a major scene, but when you think about it, that was basically Anakoji's first interaction with Katsuragi. But the fact that they were actually friendly with each other right off the bat could have led to, like, you know, some foreshadowing in the future where they actually became slightly close friends. Another thing that I realized with the anime is that they really wanted Sakura to be a major character for some reason, which I do kind of guess she's a very likable, very cute girl that's easily marketable to, if we're being honest. And it was kind of cool seeing them have a character that's supposed to be non-existent actually be existent for a while, but after a few volumes in the light novel, she basically went back to being non-existent. You know, those are all like reasonable reasonings that would support my claim in some way, but they wouldn't really affect the story like too much if we actually think about it. So now let's bring up something that they changed drastically, like actually drastically, to the point where it actually messes up the whole story if they actually continue the anime. I'm talking about the pool episode. When I first checked out this episode, I thought it was pretty cool because, you know, it was supposed to be a slice of life episode. In a lot of animes, they have like characters go to pools, lakes, things like that, water parks, you know, just for them to have fun and everything. But you know, this is Classroom that they were talking about. They were able to add in a bit of a conflict that occurred in that episode. So Anakoji found out that Shudo and his group of friends wanted to plant cameras inside the girls' locker room for research purposes. And since Anakoji is like, I was gonna say Anakoji is a decent enough human, but like, I'm just rethinking about everything that happened in the latest volume of the light novel, and I kind of have to rethink everything. But I guess Anakoji just didn't want it to happen, so he ended up hitting up Horikita and was like, hey, you know, these guys are doing something shady, can you like get rid of it for me or whatever. Yeah, it was overall a pretty enjoyable episode, seeing the characters messing around with each other, seeing some new characters being introduced into the story. And yeah, I saw nothing wrong with it. Then I read the light novel. So remember how I told you guys that Horikita was the one that was, you know, supposed to get rid of the cameras, everything like that. In the light novel, it was a different character that was assigned to do that. That character was Kei Karuizawa, which definitely makes sense because this was when Koji first found out about Kei and like, you know, basically turned her into his... What's a word I can use right now that won't be offensive? But yeah, originally in the light novel, Kei and Koji were already working behind the scenes together when the scene happened. But in the anime, we didn't know anything about Kei at the time. Everyone thought she was just an arrogant, bitchy girl, which she was at the time. So I'm just kinda confused on why they decided to even put this scene in the anime. Like, I kinda get it if you just purely made it a slice of life episode, but the fact that you decided to add in the scene and basically replace a character that's gonna be really, really important to the future with another girl that really wasn't involved in this case. The reason why I personally don't like this change is because this was like the first time that Kei actually looked at Koji and was like, hey, you're not really, you're not like too bad of a guy actually. Because before this, she didn't really know too much about him. She just looked at him as like, you know, a piece of shit that was ordering her to do things. Like you basically using her and threatening her to make her do things behind the scene. Because after Kei's job was done, she was hanging out with Koji at the pool for a little bit, and she saw him break the SD card with all of the recorders and everything. And they also played around at the pool with each other for a bit. Like Koji pushed Kei into the water, then he pulled her out, then she pushed him in. And Koji said something along the lines of, it felt like everything was worth it, just being able to see her smile there. And this was a scene that basically developed the co-partnership, I guess, into like an actual friendship, which eventually led to, you know, them liking each other and them dating. So unlike the previous two scenes I mentioned, this was something that was actually needed in the story. Like if this scene didn't happen, then the story wouldn't be able to go on the same way. Unless that volume of the light novel wasn't out when this scene happened, this is not acceptable. This is not fucking acceptable. This is coming from a Kei fan, by the way. Kei's my fucking best girl in this light novel. Fuck you for doing it. But yeah, if that volume was actually out when the anime was released, I honestly don't know what was going through the mind, like putting that scene in the anime. Yeah, I personally think the anime by itself is pretty decent and honestly enjoyable, but to anyone that has read the light novel and the manga will probably look at it and be like, damn, what the fuck did they do to this shit? Like, it's actually at a point where they can't do anything with the anime unless they just decide to change up the whole story, or they would just have to make a whole remake, which I would honestly like to see because, you know, Youjitsu is my favorite novel anime related thing. So seeing some of my favorite scenes, seeing some of my favorite characters being in the anime would definitely, you know, be pretty cool, but I don't think we'll get anything anytime soon. But yeah, that's it for this video. If you guys enjoyed it, feel free to leave a like, comment, and maybe subscribe. Tell me your guys' thoughts on the Youjitsu needs a second season or now, or if it needs a remake, or if it needs anything, because I don't know. I just want a new volume. But overall, the anime just ended off in a point where they can't really continue it, where they just changed, and I honestly messed up too many things to the point where they can't do anything else with it. So I personally think the anime version of Classroom really is sitting at a pretty good spot right now. The line novel is infinite times better though, I do have to tell you that. But yeah, that's all again for me today. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. Hopefully we'll see each other again, and hopefully you will have a nice night. Peace out.